Hi everyone, this is Tracy Newman from the Navigator's Tarot, here to bring you a general energy reading. The general energies are quite cosmic today. It's kind of like, it seems to be that we're stepping into a higher vibrationary field, and so that is actually what's going on with the sun and the magnetosphere of the earth. The electromagnetic energy that's coming from the sun through the solar storms, the solar flares. What's happening is that if you look at the Schumann resonance, it's literally off the charts. And what's happening is that everything is changing their DNA, like everything is becoming a lot more light filled. So the DNA of absolutely everything is changing. So be prepared for great change, because not only on an outer level, but also on an inner level. Because what it will do, this light will literally, because light is information, and it will bombard all of us. It will bombard our electromagnetic energy that comes from the physicality of our carbon-based vehicle. But what's happening is that carbon-based vehicle is now changing into something a lot more light-filled and crystalline in nature. So our DNA is literally changing, and so is the sun, so is everything. Everything is changing and becoming lighter as we're shifting out of this dense carbon-based structure into something a lot more crystalline and full of light information. So the more information that is gained and gleaned from the atmosphere into our physical bodies and vice versa, the higher we vibrate, and the more we cannot hold anything that is dark in any way, or even, you know, not telling the truth to ourselves. That literally cannot stay. It will be pretty much, your body won't be able to cope with that. So there will be a lot of anxiety for a lot of people as we're going through these shifts and changes, because change is uncomfortable, and having to deal with any remaining wounds or traumas or anything like that at all. It's literally you're going to be asked to remove it or to shift it out of these higher frequencies. It literally cannot. And what I'm hearing is it cannot stay in these higher frequencies. These electromagnetic blasts that are coming from the sun are such that literally it's of a higher vibration and a different frequency bandwidth. So it's a little bit like the power of unconditional love. Nothing can withstand the power of unconditional love, because it is of a certain frequency that is so high that nothing of a lower frequency or anything that is not a match on a frequency level, it will literally just obliterate it. And that's what's actually happening now. It is happening incrementally, because if it actually happened all at once, that amount of energy we would not be able to cope with that amount of energy. So it's happening incrementally, but still we are finding it very, very difficult in some aspects, and it will be bringing up a lot of stuff that needs to be removed. If you are accessing these higher timelines, then this is what is going to occur. We're also going to see a lot more changes in our outer world. We'll be moving into a greater sense of peace, not only within ourselves, but you'll start to see that on an outer level, as within, so without. Also too, on a higher level as well, we'll begin to access these higher timelines. And so anything that does not wish to remain in those higher timelines will literally drop away from us. So I hope that makes some sort of sense to you all. But that's literally what's going on. And these Ascension symptoms that you can get, so it can be extreme fatigue, tiredness, needing to rest, drops in blood sugar, sometimes having to eat every 20 minutes or so. That's really extreme, but I've had that, believe me. And also like a shaking to the core, which can happen when these light codes are activated. That sort of thing can happen. Also sleepless nights. We've had a massive full moon, which has actually affected us all, and especially the tides and everything at the moment. And you know, it's like a build up. There's a build up to the energies at the moment, and it's literally revving us up, and you can feel it kind of like just before a plane takes off, that kind of revving feeling, and that's how it's feeling within our physical structures at certain times. And sometimes it can feel like we need to rush forward, you know, but take your time, rest, do what you can, but listen to your body at all times at this time. It's a very, very important time in Earth's juncture, in Earth's history. These are hugely changing times for all of us. And this is about coming into abundance and union, literally within. So there will also be, as I've said before, a lot of unions take place with divine counterparts, as well as this energy begins to rev up. And so on a physical level, that will also be occurring, but it'll also be occurring within as we begin to balance out those energies between masculine and feminine, divine masculine, divine feminine, because nothing else can, you know, like those imbalances are now having to come up to speed and having to come up into balance, those masculine and feminine energies. What else is there? Yeah, so moving into a greater sense of integrity towards oneself and others is paramount at this time. And forgiving, if you need to forgive somebody, then it's a really good time to do that as well, so that we can move into a greater sense of peace and understanding and self-love, also unconditional love for ourselves and others. And that's what we're all moving into, because that's why these changes are occurring, because the Earth is now changing, as I've said, into something of a much higher frequency. So all the darkness that was on our planet, that did actually have control over us for a millennia, is now washing away, and we are moving into higher timelines where peace and love abound. So I hope that makes some sort of sense, and I shall see you anon. Bye for now.